thank you for everyone for joining us for today's Open Day press conference with top seed UCLA. We're joined by head coach John Speraw and student athletes Merrick McHenry, Ethan Chaplin, and Alex Knight. We'll start off with a statement from head coach John Speraw and then open it up for questions. When you're ready, coach.
Well, it's particularly gratifying to be back in this with this opportunity with the three men next to me. The seniors have all had just a tremendous impact on this program, and to be able to be in a position to come back, compete here on this final stage, I think is appropriate for the type of career that they've had and the amount of work, and most importantly, the people that they are and how they've just changed the program. I know last year we had an opportunity to win it, and that was a really big moment for the program. That moment has passed, and this season has all been about how we could come back and try to make this happen again. And here we are. So the first goal was to get here and put ourselves in a position to repeat, and now we just have to go out and play and see if we can accomplish that goal by the end of the week.
Vinny Lopes here from Off the Block. I want to delve into the match in detail a little bit, but before you, just looking at the big macro of this match, Coach, what does this match mean for you, especially knowing that 5 years ago you were really instrumental in helping this conference get started?
It was a team effort. Anthony Hallman was a really large part of that. I think as the athletic director at the time at Fort Valley, he understood the vision that I think Wade Gerard and Greg Moore and myself were talking about. And I think Anthony really drove that from the athletic director perspective. And I think we have to give a ton of credit to Wade Gerard and the work that he's done to continue to advocate for the growth of the sport and just the generosity of the board of the First Point Volleyball Foundation to make this opportunity a reality. For me personally to be here and then to have this matchup is just incredible. So I'm thrilled to be in this position. I'm proud of Larry Rather and the work that they've done. We went out there and played on their campuses at Morehouse and Fort Valley 3 years ago. Time flies. And it was a tremendous experience. They were so hospitable, so enthusiastic. And then to play them this year in Pauley to see how much they've improved, and then to see them have the opportunity here. It's a credit to everybody at Fort Valley and Larry and the players to be here in their inaugural opportunity to compete in an NCAA championship.
Yeah. And America, I want to ask you, what does it mean for you when you look across the net and you see people who look like you, where typically you may not see that on a volleyball court?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I just think about growing up and watching Ben Patch, honestly, and I just remember the impact that had on me, just to be able to see someone who looked pretty similar to me doing the sport that I loved at a really high level. So now to be that guy and to also be able to look on the other side of the net and just to see a full team with guys that look like me, and to also know that those guys can be so influential for just young black men growing up in America who might not know that volleyball is just an opportunity for them. And I just think it's so amazing to just see how the sport's evolving for people of all colors.
John, taking on with the LA Times. John, if like 3 years ago, it seems like an easy decision to try to start making this effort to build diversity in volleyball, but like at that time, why did you make that decision? Why did you think it was important to be part of this movement?
I think you have to even go back further, probably another 3 years, because I think we're in year 6 here, to just the founding of the First Point Volleyball Foundation, and that was Wade and I having a conversation about the growth of the game. It literally was at a Starbucks in Orange County during the summer, waiting for a national team practice, and it started from there, and bringing in a group, the initial board members, getting that off the ground. It was startup. It was like trying to figure out how to get Wade paid, and it was tough times there in the beginning. It was all about the vision of how can we put intentional effort into growing the sport of boys and men's volleyball. And at some point, we just had this understanding that this was we called it the tip of the spear of growing our sport, and people really got behind it. And so I think the general collaborative leadership that you've seen from Wade and the board and everybody who's understood the opportunities that are here really has made an incredible difference. The number of scholarships that we've added on the sport over the last 5 years is mind-blowing to me. We've added D1s. We've added D2s. I mean, obviously the SIC. So I think there was just this general effort. And then it was Wade at a athletic directors conference when he met Greg Moore, who was the commissioner of the SIC at the time, and them developing a relationship and having a conversation about what it would take to bring volleyball to the HBCUs. And so it just started with an idea and leadership and opportunities and networking and people getting a vision for it and people taking advantage of this opportunity. And so really it starts way back then with just an idea, and here we are.
Just to bring Ethan and Alex in on the conversation, what's your thoughts about being able to play in HBCU in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think it's super, super awesome. Obviously, we got to go there a couple years ago, so we got to play against them in their place, and that was a super fun trip to bond with them. And I think it's just a super unique opportunity for the sport. I think we're super happy to expand the tournament and have more teams, and I think it's super awesome to have them here, and we're excited to play against them for sure.
Yeah, it was really fun going back there. Yeah, 3 years ago. That was a long time ago. It feels like time flies, but yeah, it was really fun being able to play with them, practicing with them. They were super hospitable, like John said, and we're just excited to play them. We're excited that they're in the tournament, and it's a fun matchup being able to play them in the tournament after, being there for their first year.
Coach, looking at the match itself, you played Fort Valley State at the beginning of the season. What have you seen on film from them in their recent matches that's a sign of improvement since the first time you played them?
Well, I mean, the biggest sign of improvement is Fed. So he didn't play against us, and I saw this ball that he hit, and it is one of the most impressive, six-pack facial shots you've ever seen. The poor guy in Area 4 from Edward Waters had no idea what was about to happen to him. I hope he's recovered from his concussion. He obviously is an incredibly dynamic athlete, and they've had a year and won a championship. And so this is just a team that has continued to improve. So we know we're going to get a better team than what we saw in January.
And then for the players, I want to ask, I'm sure you've heard all the chatter of, this team shouldn't be the number one overall seed. They lost in the conference tournament, blah, blah, blah. Are you all using that as motivation? Do you block it out? How do you kind of take some of those comments from the random fans of volleyball?
I didn't even know that chatter existed.
Yeah, I think ultimately we just go into practice every day and try to focus on how we can get better. And I think ultimately when it comes to the seeding, I mean, we can't control that, so we're just playing volleyball. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we really care where we're at in the tournament. I think as long as we're here, we're happy, and I think we're excited to play whoever we have to play, and so we're just focusing on our side of the net and what we can control.
And then, Coach, I want to ask, this season we've seen Ethan, Alex play at libero. What does that say that you have the senior leaders who are able to really be selfish and just do whatever needs to be done to win?
I know it's a sacrifice. We've talked about it a lot individually with both of them. It's been a challenge for us to replace Troy Gooch, who was so good for us the year before. And I know for both of them, they'd probably rather be swinging at high balls when it matters. And so for now Alex to be in this position and know that, hey, this is what he needs to do for the team. And I think with a lot of self-sacrifice. Him playing libero means he doesn't get the kills, he doesn't get the accolades. Last year he was an All-American, MVP of the Final Four. This year, he's not getting the all-conference recognition that his talent deserves. And we understand that, and that's the way these things work. It just takes a lot of character to sacrifice your own individual goals and ambitions and recognition for the good of the team, and I think the team really appreciates that and recognizes that.
Alex, following up on that, what was that conversation like to be asked to do this? Have you ever played libero in your life?
I have, yeah. Actually, I had an ankle injury in high school, so I played libero for a couple of weeks. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, we had to replace Troy this year, so we had a conversation in the middle of the season about what's the best lineup, and so I've kind of just been trusting the coaching staff that they're putting the best team out there, and definitely it's been a personal journey for me this year to get in the right mindset, obviously with the position change, but I think my team has done a really good job to help support me and be there for me when it's been a little uncomfortable changing positions, but I'm grateful for the chance that I get to have an opportunity to sacrifice for my team, so I'm trying to keep that mindset going forward and keep the best mentality because I know it can help the team no matter what position I'm in or even if I'm on the bench.
I just want to add to that too. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves for the sacrifice he's made and how good he's been for not playing. It's been a tremendous sacrifice for the team, and he's been doing a great job. And I played that position for a few games, and I enjoyed some of it. I didn't enjoy other parts of it, like Coach said. But just doing what he can for the team has been just great for our team.
Was passing always part of your like volleyball foundation when you were growing up? Like that's just something you always learned how to do, even though you were tall.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of good club coaches and people that were older than me that told me that passing is one of the most important things, even as an outside hitter. So I had a shoulder surgery in 2021, and I think that year was super pivotal for me to just lock in on my passing and get better there. So I know what the impact passing makes. We have amazing attackers, and so when we can set our middles, it makes a big impact for us. So definitely something I've focused on a lot in my career, for sure.
It's media day, so you get one random question. I had Off the Block's junior reporter, my 6-year-old daughter, come up with a question. She wants to know, what's your favorite jersey you've worn while you've been at UCLA?
Yeah, they got the 100-year UCLA jersey, but that was before me. I like the ones this year. I think they're pretty cool. At first, we kind of weren't sure about it. We saw pictures, and we were like, I don't know how we feel about the Westwood map on the back, but I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like last year's blue the best. I thought it was pretty clean.
Yeah, I think I like this one. It has a big Culver City on the back on the map, and that's where I'm from. So I always like looking at that when we're out in the car.
We've gotten a couple calls from alumni who want the jersey this year. This one, they want the map on the back. Yeah,
That's cool.
All right, thank you guys. Good luck in the championship.
Thanks.
Thank you.